important was it to retain what you had in OTAs and mandatory minicamp and come in today and not feel like it's day one?
Yeah, honestly, like, we talked about it yesterday, but we went so hard in OTAs, like, it feels like today was smooth. Like, it wasn't like, previous training camps where you come in and day one, people are dying and stuff like that. Like, I know the guys have been working. A lot of the dudes have been here, training ever since we got done with OTA. So, like, we've had a big group here working and training. I know a lot of guys. Gino's been in Miami getting to work and has had guys out there as well. So, it just felt like we were right back to business. So, yeah, I know on a personal level, like, there's little things that, today just cleaning up, like, not second guessing a couple things, but yeah, just overall as a team, it was great seeing guys fly around and have fun. So it's just an opportunity every day to get better.
What are your thoughts on Jamal Adams and what he brings to the back end of the defense?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a full circle moment. I was I think a freshman or a sophomore in high school. I think I was actually a freshman, and we played Hebron in high school in the playoffs in the first round, and he was on Hebron in Texas, and I got to see him. Like, I didn't play a snap. I'm sitting on the sideline, and my brother was a starter on that team at Colleyville, and we got after Hebron. We beat Jamal's team, but I'm not gonna lie. Like, Jamal, I told this in the team meeting yesterday. Like, Jamal is one of the coldest players I've ever seen in person. Like, up to that point, I've never seen somebody like that on a football field. And then, fast forward, coming to the league, we played the Jets a couple times earlier in my career, and I got to see him, and that was like his prime. He was a perennial Pro Bowler, highest paid safety at the time, and he's had a couple injuries, things like that since then, but. Just being able to, follow his career. I've been, we didn't even know who we were at the time, but just kind of it's full circle coming back together. I seen him in here first thing in the morning yesterday, and we got to chop it up, and we know a lot of people mutually. So yeah, it was like we've known each other from a distance, but it was it felt like I've known him for years. Finally getting to like meet in person and chop it up. So yeah, he's a great player. He's dynamic, flies around. He's got the right type of energy. We just got to get it's like everybody else, keep stacking days and show up with positive energy, and I think he's gonna help us.
You remind him of the loss?
Oh, high school, yeah, of course. That was like the first thing I told him. I'm like, yeah, I remember. I told him, like, I hyped him up a little bit. I was like, bro, you're insane. You're playing running back. You're playing linebacker. I was like, yeah, we whooped y'all's ass. So yeah, so shout out to my brother and them. They definitely got after him. Sure. Honestly, like, being a leader is just part of who I am, and being part of my evolution as a player. I want to get better in every way I can. I would push myself, just like I pushed my teammates. You know what I mean? I never asked somebody to do something I wouldn't do, and that's the way I live and how I operate. And Coach Pete, Coach Carroll has done it at the highest level. He's won a national championship, he won a Super Bowl. And for me, I'm just trying to absorb as much information from him and learn from him, because he's been around so many great players. And everybody I've talked to, from Marshawn to Marshawn to freaking Richard Sherman, all those guys, like, they speak the world of him, and those guys, those are guys I looked up to coming up in this game. So, yeah, man, it's been an awesome experience so far. So, I'm just, like I said, just soaking up information and really just trying to learn from him and relay that message to the guys. I expect to win every time I come on the field. I don't care what we're doing. You know what I mean? It's every drill, everything we do. I'm expecting to win, and that's how I carry myself. But that's just an individual thing. Pete's the same thing. He's been winning at the highest level for a long time, but it's got to be all of us if we want a chance. And so we got to be able to push each other. We got to be able to pull others in our direction and get everybody on that same wavelength, so we can go out there and execute on Sundays. And we got a lot of work to get there. It's July right now. We got we don't play our first game till September. We got a lot of work to do, but I know the guys are going to put in the work. And I know for me, like, I expect to win. Every time I go out there, I expect to win. I don't care who's in front of me.
Maxx, right now Christian's still out with a split injury, but when you look at those guys in that rotation, like Jonah and Zach, guys like that, even Tonka, what do you see from them so far in the process, and what are you trying to do to kind of help them along the process?
Yeah, they've been great. I can't lie. Jonah is a special talent. Dude can play. He don't even know it yet. You know what I mean? But he's going to be a hell of a player. Tonka, JJ. You got Tyree, getting reps inside, and he's gotten reps inside in the last couple of years as well. But we got a ton of talent, and I trust those guys. I know they're going to be ready when it comes to game day, because we need them. You know what I mean? They're going to be out there. They're going to be playing week 1, week 2, week 3, all the way through the season. So we know they're young, but we need them. If we want a chance to win, and I know they're going to step up. And Adam Butler, he's the first name I should mention. He's been here. He's been one of the best players on the interior in the league, in my opinion, in the last few years. So, yeah, we got a ton of guys, and I know they're going to be ready to go. And obviously, having Malcolm back on the other end is, I mean, people haven't talked about that, at all. I feel like it's crazy because he was just coming off the best year of his career. He's coming off a breakout year, and then he gets hurt right before last season. So having him back, I think is going to be huge for us. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to continuing getting better with him every day.
To continue with that, you talked about Malcolm and him coming back. What was it like going through that process with him, where he's coming from an injury and you're also injured as well? What was it like, kind of like having to go through that with him, and what have you learned about him throughout that whole time?
I mean, it sucked because we're just sitting there. We're two competitive dudes that are in the damn training room every day. You know what I mean? It's like it drove us crazy at first, but that's the cards we're dealt. But it's part of the game. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, but I know one thing about Malcolm. Like, I speak about him all the time for a reason. He's a guy that I never have to worry about. We have a great relationship, but he's a guy that shows up every single day, and he knows what it's like to work. He knows what the expectation is. He knows what the standard is. He's somebody I never have to question. I never have to get on his, because I know he's going to be out there performing at his highest level, and he's always pushing to get better. So I love that dude. I could talk about how special of a player he is, but as special as a person too, because he's another Matt guy. You know what I mean? We stay close. That's my guy. He's made it from the dirt, and I know he's going to come back with a vengeance and play great football this year. We haven't won much in this since I've been here. I've made the playoffs one time, and that's not what I expect. Like, I expect perfection and excellence every day. But overall, I can't do it by myself. Gino can't do it by himself. Pete can't do it by himself. It's got to be all of us. So we got to be delusional enough to believe in what we can truly do. That's the only way you can go out there and win. People thought I wouldn't be in this position. People never thought I'd be in this position, and they still doubt me. And I think and I'm gonna keep proving them wrong. You know what I mean? And making them look crazy. And I know we got a lot of guys who have that type of story. Pete was the same way. Pete got fired twice before he became a successful head coach. So I know everyone in here is bought in on winning. I'm not sitting here to make a bunch of big predictions and none of that. Like, we got to go do it and go win. But I fully expect to win. You know what I mean? There's no doubt about that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. It's been cool just seeing a full group of guys go out there in the field together and truly just enjoy being around each other. We're in the locker room, in the weight room. It's just like the energy is always on point, and it's something that can't be forced. You know what I mean? It's just something that's got to be built, and we're doing that for sure. In football, if you want to win, like, you got to have a quarterback. Let's be real. Gino's a hell of a quarterback, and he's another guy that gets slept on for some reason. But Gino can play, and he's super competitive, and getting to see him and go against him every single day has been an awesome experience so far. So, we have those conversations all the time. Me and him have gotten real close. He's a dude that, like I said, literally the day, his people know my people, his agents he's a Washington guy. So, like, I kind of knew what was going on from a little insider stuff, at that time, and I kind of got word, and I was like, this would be crazy if it happens, and it did. So I've been so fired up about him since day one, and I know he's definitely coming here to prove himself and show the world what he's all about. But yeah, getting to line up against him and seeing the way he competes and throwing the ball, like, he could sling the ball, make every single throw, which is definitely. It's good sometimes. When you're on defense, you're like, damn, it is what it is. But on Sundays we're going to be fired up and celebrating, and it's going to be amazing. So yeah, I can go on and on about Gino, man. I love that guy. He's been great so far.